Howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I'd be back. All right. Some of you hopefully enjoyed today's earlier session that we had. A little peace and spiritual rest. Meanwhile, the rest of the world is having difficulties. All right, let's get on over here to our solar report and get started. Meanwhile, we're waiting for that. I'd like to thank y'all for spending a moment of your time to come join us here at our precious little family. And once we get this all dialed in, there you can see we're March 16th, 2024. And there's your loop playing right there. Get everything kind of a little more centered and all right, seeing this little object right there? It's got plasma dammed up behind it. And we'll go through each one of these frame by frame here and let that run for a minute. That one's clear as a bell, and so is the second one with the with its wake, the twin tails, this wake that's coming off of either side of that object right there. Okay, so we'll dive deeper into these here and zoom in on them frame by frame here in just a second. I just kind of want you guys to take a little look what's going on there before I start pointing stuff out. Oh, forgive me. I'm trying to do the best I can here. Can't really tell you too much what's going on. So anyway, let's just continue here. Let's find that opening frame and just dive on in. Okay, backing up here a little bit. There's our opening frame, 024. Yeah, that's it right there. Sometimes there's a 012, but lately, 024. Opening frame. Here you can clearly see our event underway. We have our little object. There's one out front right there. Let's just grab that one real quick while we can. And we will maybe just progress through these frame by frame while zoomed in. All right, you see this little one right here? Already kind of got plasma trailing off of it. Appears to be something else spherical, maybe in that zone too. Something else back here. Possibly something in that zone. And then we have the event here that the instrument's registering to. So let's go to the next frame. There you can see them both pretty clearly. This one here, something right there, maybe a 3-pack or I don't know. It depends on how you want to look at it. Let me just, well, yeah, that looks pretty good right there. Let's not mess with a good thing and just continue here. All right, boom. Now this one becomes more observable. You can see the indentation it's making right there. There's a good shot of it right there. And these other ones right here. So it seemed to be almost like a little 3-packer or something. I don't know. You guys can be the judge of this as well. But you can clearly see this one right here and the instrument reacting to it. All right. This might be a ghost image of this previous when this was back here. So don't. Some of these images are tricky because there's a secondary image in the back that can trick you sometimes into thinking there's more. But as we move them, you can see this one, this one. Let's go back a little bit. Whoops. That was rewind. We don't want to go that far. All right. Now, what we need to do kind of is unzoom here because there's other stuff going on in the background here. So let's pull back out, rotate it up, All right, we got this little event popping off over here next. Where's a good image right there? See things streaking through there. All right, I was trying to get it without the instrumentation covering it there so you can kind of see we have a round black object right here. Plasma has dammed up on the back side of it right here. That's why it's still all bright and illuminated. Let me back up now. And we'll zoom in now again. Let's go all the way. Why not? Oh, that's why not, because we need to use the button still down below. Okay, sorry. Just doing it differently tonight. Oh, good to see all you guys showing up and chatting in the chat room. Good to see Gabe here again tonight. Isn't it nice to be welcome to somewhere? And I found your family, Gabe. And everybody in here, even in the replays, the people that don't comment, that kind of lurk in the background, you're part of this family too. So I know you're out there. All right, here's this little event underway as well. Now that doesn't kind of look like the winged planet with these tails coming off, these twin wakes coming off. All right, there's a good shot of it right there. Go ahead and just a tad bit tighter and pull it over. All right, that way you can see the round black object that's there. All right. We don't even need to see this. The wake from it is clear enough, defining it. But here we have the whole shebang. There's your planetoid, about half of it sticking up like this. There's the black dot, the little shaded part right at the top. But then you can see plasma in black here. This is the negative image, but plasma jammed up in front of it with these tails streaking off behind it. Pretty plain as day. Right there's good. All right, so that event as well, streaking down. Whoops, that's good enough. Oop, there's a good image right there too. Make out a little black dot, round circle around behind it. So yeah, that's right. Good one, Gabe. I like your way of thinking, man. All right, continuing on with the show. Pretty much looks like Nibiru with wings on it, doesn't it? I mean, that could be mistaken by, somebody who's never seen it before. Hey, that's the winged planet. One of many. Let's continue on. See little stuff sneaking through there and the solar wind way up top up there. Got to remember this solar wind behaves like fluid. It's not fluid, but it has fluid dynamic properties. And that's much what we see here when you see flow going over objects, stuff going around it. Sometimes the objects are coming out faster than the CME or solar wind. Sometimes they're going out slower. When they're slower, they have plasma dammed up behind them. When they're going out faster, they have streaks and tails coming off of them. I mean, that's just textbook examples right there. God, on display, kind of giving us, like I said, textbook examples to observe, study, learn. All right. I'll let that kind of play there real quick. Actually, this one can be sped up a tad bit faster because you see some more activity when it's faster. This one right here comes in a little clearer when it's faster. We could go even one more. Okay, so it really kind of, let me slow it down one more. All right, so there it kind of helps define it a little bit better. The instrumentation reacting to it as well is a clear indicator that there's an object there, especially when it puts this huge dent in it. Let me just go right there, back up a couple. Right there. Undeniable. Here, we'll even go a couple more frames. Right. There's a good one right there. You see the bulge in the red line that it makes? This is the front of the shock wave. This is the actual barrier line or whatever. Okay. So it's pinned right in between both of them. Clear indication. The instrument is basically telling you there's something there. And you can see it with your own eyes. Just kind of let that play one more time. Brian, a while back you said planet aren't what you think. What are they? Celestial beings. How about that? In a grander scale, with the bigger consciousness, and their body is a host, and we're the type parasite, not parasites, but we would be the thing that lives off the host. Okay, it's very different than what you think. When I'll show you a picture of the sun with smile and an eyes on it, and you see a real face on the sun, you're going to go, wait a second, the sun isn't what we think it is. All of astrophysics is changing now, all right? Everything that they theorized and hypothesized, some was right, but a lot of it was wrong. And now we're rewriting the real astrophysics and how things work. This is terraphysics, which is the geophysics of the Earth. We also do astrophysics here. And then at the end of the show, we do metaphysics, spiritual work, not your new age spiritual work, the real spiritual work. Anyways, we got to keep moving on. Beautiful display. Come on over here. Check it out yourself. You guys should be using this instrument too as well. All right, so let's move on here. We got a lot to cover tonight, and I know you guys are not in such a hurry to get to the end tonight because you already had a nice spiritual report earlier today. It should tide you over a little bit. Should have helped you soothe your nerves a little bit today. I think maybe some of you had a better day after just, even if you didn't stay the whole time, just a little bit helped, didn't it? Okay, here we go. Here's your GOES X-ray fluxes boxes today. Here's our main event right here. A pretty decent spike. It was an M3.5. Okay, so not a big old one, but a decent little M3.5. The thing about it is it was quite a big eruption, and we'll get to that here in a minute. Meanwhile, the little tails and pops and stuff that we saw, big data. I can't wait until this stuff ends. It's really messing up the readings and stuff, and it really distracts from what we're trying to actually look at, the real data. Anyways, after the data glitch right here, it's coming back down. So our X-ray flux is calming down finally after a round of events there that we had. Why does it not? Thank you, Lord. Just help me. Okay, down here at the absorption, this D-layer absorption event is still going on. I would pull up the other instrument and play the little movie, but it might jam things up right now. But still ongoing. It's not as strong. Actually, we can click on this one right here without jamming things up. There we go. Bigger picture at least. You can see down here, let me get the proper colorization. Well, that was pretty close. It's a little bit red still, kind of turning orange in this region down here. More orange up here, but it's fading. All right. So it appears that our proton storm is slowly fading, and hopefully it's just a 2-day event and not like the week-long proton event we had. That was crazy. Okay, backing up, we got X flare 1%, M flare 5%. Proton is down to 40% because it's petering out. Geomagnetic forecast next 3 days is calm. You look at our KP here, we had this little event where we absorbed some and then hit the floor, really quiet way down here. So we're not taking on a bunch of energy up at the poles, and our auroras reflect that. Let me just pop these auroras open real quick. You see how dim they are? They're not even complete. They're very weak. That's a good sign. That means it's Earth gets a break of absorption for a minute. Now, back to this. A region located just off the southeast limb produced that moderate M35 that we saw. That solar flare peaking at 1635, blah, blah, blah. We will get a better look at the source during the next 24 to 48 hours because it's behind the limb, all right? The image below using this. All right. Low energy proton levels are currently at elevated levels, but so far remain below the minor S1 radiation storm. This was a result of the coronal mass ejection. This is not the article I was looking for, but this was not the result of the large coronal mass ejection the CME observed early Friday. Based on the eruption location, passage of past Earth is unlikely. We already saw that. Solar activity on Thursday reached moderate levels thanks to minor C clear. Okay, that's old too. Let's just open up the tracker. I think we've all seen this big blast coming off the back already. Yeah, there it is right there. All right, we've all seen that since last night. Several shows have played it already. We don't really need to go over that. It's heading away. Our forecast for the next 3 days, there's nothing really headed our way, so it's nice and quiet. That's good news. I will take that all day long. Okay, so there's that. Now let's get over to the fun stuff. Oh, thank you, Sherry. I hope you're enjoying. You look new here. Same with Edward. We got some new people here. Well, you guys get your drinks, get your blankets, curl on up, get your snacks, whatever you're going to do, and get cozy with our family as we go through this. Now, you're going to love this here. So, the title of this is I Double Moondog Dare Auror'Ya. Okay, because in this image, this is not a sun halo. This is a moon halo. Okay, one that's so intense that it had dogs on it, moon dogs. At the same time, an aurora appeared during this event. So you got double dog aurora. So, and this is funny. I love this. Oh, wait, we got to get back up to this first. Oh, we'll get to that. Sorry. I jumped the gun. Arr. All right. Protons are raining down on Earth. Solar protons are raining down. This is causing the polar cap absorption event. Something flary this way comes. Today, March 16th, this is the one I wanted. Earth orbiting satellites detected the impulsive M3.5. The source was just behind the sun's southeast limb. This is the important part I wanted to talk about. The flare was partially eclipsed by the edge of the sun. That means it was stronger than expected and potentially even an X class. The underlying sunspot could rotate onto Earth's side of the sun before the weekend is done. Stay tuned. All right. This thing was pretty good blast. You see the intensity right there? And that was behind the limb, and it registered a 3.5 M. So it could potentially, I agree with these guys, this could have potentially been an X class, and it was this one right here that this object produced. All right, so it doesn't look like a big, huge blast, but do you see all the plasma it took with it? And it does have a halo right behind it a little bit. That one right there. So that was your blast effect right there. Now we can get to the fun stuff. Now, yeah, here it is. Aurora Moondog. That's funny because it sounds like oh, we'll get to that. Aurora Moondog. Yesterday, photographer John was running an Aurora workshop when the Moondogs showed up. The temperature was -6 Fahrenheit, and it was snowing during our Aurora workshop. The air was full of ice crystals. Those crystals caught the light from the moon and bent it into a luminous ring. Moon dogs are the bright spots to the left and right of the moon lying on the ring. They are caused by the same floating crystals. It turns out a bit of snow during Aurora workshops isn't such a bad thing after all. Ta-da, how rare an event. All right. First of all, moon halos are, they're becoming more prevalent, but to see the dogs have moon dogs, two of them, not just one. Sometimes you'll get one in a cloud or something like that. But to have a full moon halo, well, the rest would be down below the horizon, but that has moon dogs and an aurora at the same time. Dang, I double moondog dare Auror'Ya. God's handiwork on display. Another sign right there. We'll go to the Book of Miracles and we'll look at some of the signs in the Book of Miracles, and they look a lot similar to the stuff that we report on this channel. And we'll get to that maybe in the spiritual report one of these nights. Meantime, we got to move on. Pretty cool, though. Double moondogs with an aurora. Aurora Moondog. That sounds like a counselor. Hi, I'm Aurora Moondog. I'll be your spiritual counselor today. What's bothering you, Brian? Well, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. Well, why's that? Well, Aurora Moondog sounds like a weird Hollywood name or something, doesn't it? Aurora Moondog. Anyways, that's what this could be called. I just liked mine better. Double Moondog Dare Auror'Ya. All right, let's move on. Maybe you guys are laughing with me or at me. Either way, I don't care as long as you're laughing. Okay, we would like to have this human here. All right. Now, as you can see, we have had another event here. Pressure built up down below. We took on energy from the sun. It absorbed down to it went up to the auroras, to the poles, absorbed down to the core and the shell, heat up and expand into each other. At that boundary, they start to grind, and here's your grinding event, okay? And it puts out these high intensity, low frequency waves. This is your Schumann resonance, the 7.83 going across the green line, and the white during that was intense 7.83. All right, so you had ups and downs today. You're feeling good, and then some pain, and then all of a sudden, whoa, and then back down. It got weak after that. After these events, our magnetic field gets weak. It tries to recover. There's another event. It got weak after it. Tried to recover, but had another event. It got weak right after that. Now we're going through even smaller event right there. It's a tail end. Okay, and it's that metal core spinning inside of the shell, which is like molten, either lava, steel. It's under such pressure down there that it could be liquid, almost in a solid phase because of pressure, okay? It's so tight down there, the molecules are so packed that a liquid would almost be bulletproof, okay? So that core spinning in that liquid creates a magnetic field, much like a little electric motor. You know, the little electric motors that run a little slot car, or your typical little fan, just a little basic electric motor. when you put electricity to that motor, it spins, right? Well, if you take the battery off and you spin the thing by hand, it will produce electricity out the wires. The reverse effect happens, okay? When you spin that shaft and the inside the little magnet housing in there, it creates a magnetic field. That's how our magnetic field is generated, is by the core spinning inside its shell. And when those two heat up, like metal, when it heats, it expands. They expand into each other. The shell can't expand outward. The core expands outward. The shell tries to expand outward but can't because of pressure from above. All the magma sitting on top of it, plus the crust won't release enough pressure. So when the shell heats and expands, it expands back down onto the core. So it's like a very delicate balance right at the boundary there. Any little bit of energy causes both of them to expand into each other, and we start to grind. All right. And when you grind like that, it's much like one of those wooden bird whistles. All right. The harder you shove it into the wooden part and twist it, the higher intensity waves, frequencies you're going to get out of it, too. All right. Similar effect. And then after that, it gets weak. Actually, it did pretty well right through there. But then we had another little event popped out of it. So we came out the backside of this doing okay. Let me just refresh real quick and get the latest. All right, so here's a couple more bars of data right here. Here's this little event, this latest one. Now we're coming out the backside with pretty good. All right, pretty strong right there. That's good to see. It's not dark, so we handled this little bout pretty well. It was a small one, really. All in all, I've seen much longer, much bigger ones. Okay, so this is just a little speed bump, kind of. All right. But it does affect your moods. It does affect your body. It affects animals. And it's an indication of pressure now has built up down below. So much pressure now has reached the core now, and the core shell are reacting. Now that pressure is going to make its way up through the magma, up to the surface, and we're going to start seeing results. Okay. Coming on over here to the null school. If we could have it, please, Lord. Thank you. Another drastic change here again. This is still similar to what we saw last night over America. The new vortex rotating this way over like the Great Lakes region, just north of Maine right here, kind of. Actually, it's actually shifted more down this way now, more towards the Great Lakes region. But this energy now is, see how it's drawing some energy from the Pacific Ocean instead of pushing against it? There's still this boundary where half is still pushing against it, but the other half is still coming in this way. So we have, let me back out a little bit and let the winds rotate there. Okay, so we have our main polar vortex, but our subvortex is much stronger. Okay. Now we had these other vortexes over here. We had the conveyor belt effect going, but that has changed now. Okay, now we're seeing a vortex, a weak one right here, but look at this, what it's caused over here. This is, it's getting energy from the polar vortex coming all the way down off of Africa, all the way back up in here. And when we adjust this, look at this vortex that's growing over the Black Sea region right here. All right, so our polar vortexes have changed drastically again since last night. Look at that. There's like a heart right there in the center, huh? Anyways, let's keep moving on. All right, you see how this flow is coming off of Africa up through like the Baltics, spinning back around and going the opposite way across Norway, back up into this vortex. Just all kinds of craziness has erupted here. So right, let me get to these comments here real quick. Oh man, I'm trying to do this and then my chat jams up, so I just kind of wanted to see what you guys were responding to. All right, we'll get back to that in a minute. Oh, there's Surfer Girl. All right, anyways, back to this vortex right here. You see how it's spinning, bringing stuff down into Saudi Arabia, going back up into the Baltics. This is a different setup than we've seen before. All right, we are in transition season. Every day we're getting closer to spring, and then the whole 3 months of spring will be interesting. Now, also, this vortex has created a sub-vortex down below here as well. So now we're having sub-vortexes down lower created by lower vortexes. It's just weird. Okay, anyways, I get trying to look in the chat when I should just be doing my job here. We could look at the chat later. All right, you see the southern hemisphere picking up down here as well in energy. They're starting to go into their fall season. Look down here, you can see that they're getting a vortex. Their southern polar vortex is starting to take shape and get organized down here. See how it's completed off a full circle? Before it was peeling off, and it was like a big question mark. Now, we're upside down here. This region right here is filling in. Okay, so the southern polar vortex is starting to get organized and come into shape. You can see some red, which is intensity in there a little bit, so it's getting more organized. Now, let's continue. All right, just looking down from the top of the world for a minute here. We even have a little bubble going on over here as well. All right, we got to keep moving on. So, let's put it right here with the United States kind of set up right there. A little zoomage. And then we'll pop in here and start going down through the layers. Here's your transition layer. That vortex has caused a big ridge right here. Notice how stuff is going clear up north. Where'd my pointer go? Notice how stuff's peeling off, going way up north, and then coming back down and combining right over here offshore. Again, we got a lower jet coming down that way. This is the transition zone that affects the upper jet stream now. When we come over to the upper jet, we'll pop this open. You see the correlation? It's not exactly perfect, but there's your matchup, your correlation to the upper jet, all right? This is where your high winds are. And you see the big buckling effect that I'm talking about. And we have sub-vortices off of it. We also have like these, how do I describe it? Well, these convergence spots, these X-shaped convergence spots where winds come together and split and go 4 different directions, all right? Creating other little reverse vortices. So this jumbling effect, as these northern colder air masses collide with southern fetch stuff, mix right over this region of the country. So that's why we're seeing gnarly tornadoes and everything in that area. All right, now position it and then drop down to the lower jet. There's your correlation to the lower jet stream. These were all the storms ride on these currents right here. Okay, you see this rotating effect down below here. Let's go down to the weather now. All right. See the big ridge right here? And it's bringing cold air out of Canada, swooping it down, mixing it with that warm, moist air coming off of the Gulf here. This is down where your weather is now, okay? So these two colliding right here could cause some trouble for that region at the moment. Who knows how long that'll last, but look at this thing going on out here. That's a pretty powerful storm, so we'll see what happens. We'll keep watching that. We got different wind currents right now kind of taking stuff up here, so it could stay away and go up into this area, or it could, we'll see what happens here. But that's a pretty healthy looking storm, looking like a hurricane right there. Let me go down to the surface and see how organized it is. Ooh, so it is pretty organized. Let's see what it looks like at 750, 500. All right, so your jet stream, your lower jet stream, this vortex here in the lower jet stream is causing a big old storm, or yeah, it's causing that big old storm right there. Let me get that down. That almost looks like a yeah, induced by from up above, because the higher up we go, the more intense it gets. Yeah, let's see the transition area. It's kind of in the doldrums right here. So transition area, upper jet. It's the upper jet that's causing that. This circulation in this lower jet are pinching off this region right here. Let me just scooch it over a little more. There we go. And as we descend in altitude, you see it's still intense. There's your layer of the weather right there. So anyways, let's move on. Let's get over to the particulates, check out our sandstorms. Okay, here we go. Still going off here at the Gobi Desert, still going off here at the Black Sea, really still going off here in Saudi Arabia, really picked up in intensity here in Africa. All right, I kind of expected this. If this passage of this object comes by, it does kick up the dust, we'll say. By it can like statically charge small sand particles, and when they're static, they can go airborne a lot easier. And I think that's why we're seeing sandstorms in the wintertime, because it's induced by other factors. And since the other night when we saw dissipation in a lot of these areas, this one's picked up in China. This one definitely is picked up here off the Black Sea. We still got this region in Saudi Arabia experiencing them. And then, like I said, the Africa region is brightening up again compared to the last couple nights. All right, so let's get out of there. Come on over to our SO2, sulfur dioxide. Whoops, I forgot to kill the wind, which is the gas that surrounds the lava down below. We're here to check the pressure, how dark it is. Actually, we had widespread going up into there that was dark the other day. This is dissipated up there. Seems still kind of dark in that region, but more consolidated. We have, some darkening over here by Saudi Arabia on both of these coasts, the Gulf of the Red Sea, and then, the Gulf of Oman there. Here's Mediterranean. Europe still kind of bleeding out. It looks like someone shot a side of beef with a shotgun. All right, let's look right here, a couple little spots. All right, let's come on over to Java. And it looks to have darkened up a little bit there. Let's put the wind on just to check. Actually, the whole island's getting pretty dark. I thought the wind currents kind of seem like they're taking it downstream a little bit, but it is darkened up as well. By the dawn's early light. All right, this one's still pretty dominant, still pretty dark. Not black yet, but dang near it. So, yeah, a little increase in pressure down below. Okay, we saw that on the Schumann too. So they're agreeing a little bit. Let's get into America here a little bit. Look at this. country divided, but this side has lightened up all through that region. We still got concentrations up in here. Please. There we go. Up the northeast up here. But as far as this region seems to have lightened up, that's a lot of wind currents taking that stuff and blowing it away. But all in all, most of the stuff in this area is being dragged down from way up here. Okay, there's a few little light plumes, but all in all, that region looks to have cleared up a little bit, lightened up. Okay, this area is a lot clearer, but has been for a while. All right, so I'd say we've this regional pressure thing seems to be what's going on. It used to be kind of a uniform darkening everywhere. There's a big old triangle. No, it's just air currents. But it seems to be kind of regional. So that region's still under pressure. This region's still under pressure. Down here at Java. All right, so there's that. Yeah, we're just down to our diehards. We don't have to go into it much. Earthquake report. Bang one out real quick. Yeah. Get a monster in me here. Perk up for the show. All right. Back to where we were. No deep quakes of the day here. We had 3 deep quakes yesterday. Today, none. 4.9 right there to depth of 10. I'd say that's some 5 energy at the surface. 4.6 down at 78. Up here, 4.4 down at 230. That's down in the little trench in between the 2 ridges. Up here at Japan, kind of watching this area. I'm worried about a big quake right around this area. Please. 5.3 today, down at 47.6. So a little bit deeper, not a total surface quake, but a pretty good shaker there for Japan today. Energy going over the garden hose kink, transferring down here with 4.2, 4.0. 3 there. It made it all the way over the hump and made it to the Coco or the Wanda Fuca, sorry, with a 3.3 there, and at our fulcrum point a 2.7. Even further down, we had 3.0 down here on the Cocos plate, a 5.0. This place has been coming to life. Oh no. All right, let's check out what's going on here. 5.6 down at 52, 4.9, basically a 5 right there down at 59, and our latest quake is a 4.3. So it's not a quake swarm, but some energy being relieved in this area. Thankfully, it's not much. It's not very big, but we got to watch this plate very carefully. Every time I see activity down here, kind of just got to check it. Is that down on the trench? Yeah. Okay, this other one right here at 4.5 down at 36. This puzzle piece right here sticking in there can, like, the other plates push on it, and it's not the biggest plate in the world, okay? So it takes a lot of pressure from all the other ones. Fulcrum point quake, 4.4 down at 10. Another fulcrum point quake, 4.3 down at 253. Let's get on over to this side here. See how quiet it is through that region? Nothing at the fulcrum points here, nothing. Just right here, a 5.2. We're talking the surface boundary quake right there, relieving energy. All right. Other than that, it is eerily quiet out there. Mainly an uptick in 5s. Because we got one there, we got one here, we got several right here, another one right there. Okay, so we've had an uptick in magnitude. It's not a bunch of quakes, but usually from 4.5 up to mid-range 5s today. Okay, pressure down below is being Well, it's being, displayed at the surface. You see how this works. It's all on the boundaries, relieving energy right now. What was this up here, just real quick? 2.7 in Idaho and 2.6 out in Oklahoma. We all know what that is. All right, so kind of quiet, but the ones that we did have were an increase in magnitude a little bit up to mid-range 5. Okay. Whew. Now let's volcano port please. God, let it work. It's really sad. Americans are poisoned more than any other country, and there's a reason why. Most countries will not accept our grain shipments. All the good vitamins and minerals are gone. You're right. All right, let's continue. So we're getting into. Oh, wait. This needs to be refreshed. I want the 17th as well. All right, there it is, the 17th. Because Reccahanus has gone off today. Probably most of you saw that headlines already, or watched some kind of report, or watched it live. But we had that pressure build up, and I told you this one is so close to the edge that any little mouse fart could send this thing overflowing, and it did. So here we go. Reccahanus, a new hazard assessment map. Well, they're not even reporting on. Oh, there it is. Oozing lava advances towards Grindavik. So, Reccahanus, add it to the currently active volcano list. We got a new one on the active list. Okay, Ducono again here, 9,000 feet. Fernandina, another kind of semi-new one, doing the same thing, oozing magma. Popocatépetl, 23,000 feet. Wow. Santa Guido, Nova. Okay, Nevada del Ruiz. Okay, take note. Remember, it was on the semi-active list, and I said Nevada del Ruiz belongs on the active list because it had a blast to 23,000 feet. I'd say that's pretty active, wouldn't you? Okay, moving on. Nevada del Ruiz, Sabancaya, 24,000 feet. So 23, 24. It's like we're counting down to my birthday. All right. Now let's open up the Sakurajima 16th here with Sakurajima, whatever. I saw there it is. Sakurajima, 5,000 feet. Marapi over on Sumatra, 19,000. Where is it? Right there. 19,000 feet. That's a pretty tall blast out of Marapi there. Ducono, 9,000. All right. Which is the red square? The one on the left side or the one on the right side? Very good. All right. Popocatépetl, 22,000 feet. Santa Guido, 13,000 feet. Fuego, 15,000. Nevada del Ruiz, active. Noveye, Reventador, nothing. Sabancaya, unable to detect. But I think it was on the end of this one last night. We had this list here at the bottom. So, where do we go? Well, first of all, where's the hang on as I go through Nevada del Ruiz. Take it off of this list, throw it over there. Reccahanus, take it off the potential, put it over here on the active list. That's two of them that jumped the list. because we had a little absorption event that finally soaked down to the core and reverberates back up to the surface. All right, meanwhile, we're seeing those taller blasts too. All right, let's get out of this and get over to our forecast, get through that, and then we'll get on with the spiritual report. I'm Aurora Moondog, your spiritual advisor. What seems to be bugging you? Well, I see the signs, and I know what's coming. Well, what's that? Well, Aurora, maybe you should read the Bible, and you would know. Just having fun with that name, Aurora Moondog. Sounds like, I don't know, it's a funny name. I got a weird sense of humor. You have to forgive me. Alrighty, so here we are. Current conditions, the nighttime of the 16th. Little fire ups down here. We had that huge hail that you saw in the intro came out of this region down in Mexico last night. Okay, it's moving across Texas, the morning hours of the 17th. Here we go with that, the St. Patrick's Day event that we've been watching for a couple of days now. Here it is, Louisiana, the noontime, very intense thunderstorms. We're seeing red down in there, which means intense. By convection, it spreads along the coast. It looks to dissipate a little bit in intensity, but still severe weather by the convection of the 17th. There it goes with across Florida at the nighttime, and then it's off the coast by the morning of the 18th. Noontime, convection, morning of the 19th. Noontime, convection, morning of the 20th. Noontime, nighttime of the 19th, sorry. Morning of the 20th. Noontime, convection, nighttime, morning of the 21st. Another pop-up there. Noontime, see it doing the same thing again here. 21st, convection, offshore. Running the coastline, though, nighttime, and then making landfall by the morning of the 22nd in Florida. So those are our main two events that we should watch out for. It has adjusted a lot. All right, things have changed. You see how this splits? Some goes up the East Coast potentially. Go back to the timestamps real quick. So that's the morning of the 22nd as it strikes Florida. There's the noon of the 22nd, southern Florida. By convection, it splits. We still got severe weather along the tip of southern Florida, but going up into South Carolina, Tennessee area up there, watch out. That'll be the nighttime of the 22nd, morning of the 23rd, nighttime of the 23rd, morning of the 20th. Or no, what happened here? Nighttime of the 22nd, morning of the 23rd, noontime, convection, nighttime of the 23rd, morning of the 24th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 25th, noon, convection, nighttime. See, this is changing again. This is going to be a monster storm here around the 25th. It'll all change, but let's just kind of morning of the 26th, noon, convection, big old giant number 7 right there. Look at that. That QLCS right there is a scary looking thing right there, especially with that kind of intensity across the big swath right there. The pop-ups that would pop up in front of something like this could just be hellacious. So let's all pray that this doesn't happen around the convection of the 26th. Back up just so you can see how it blossoms from the nighttime of the 25th through the morning hours, noon, and then convection, nighttime. Look at that at nighttime. Morning still going in the morning hours, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 28th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 29th, noon, convection, nighttime, Morning of the 30th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 31st, noon, convection, nighttime. April Fool's, noon, convection, and that's all she wrote for now. So that's way out in the distance. The main two is this little event right there on the 17th, the southern states, a second round down here on the 21st. And then from there on out, everything's kind of up in the air. If something like this big old storm were to occur, we're going to keep monitoring this. Everybody pray. Okay. We don't want to see an outbreak like that. Where is it again? Let that go. Play one more time. Just to keep everybody aware, alert. You want to be on your toes, but not scared. Okay. Just prepared. Prepared, not scared. Now, this right there, these last two frames, that's the convection of the 26th, nighttime and morning. All right, that's a dangerous event. We can pray against this. All right, hopefully this all changes. But for the meantime, that could be something serious. That's a very wide swath and very severe. And we don't want to see more people get hurt or killed. All right, so that's it for the weathers, earthquake, all that great stuff. Volcano report, our geophysical, geophysics and astrophysics class are over. Now it's time for the metaphysics class. And it's not the new age metaphysics like everybody else thinks. This is the real deal. This is real spiritual work we do here. No, that's not the one I wanted, but that's one of the images we'll be reading to tonight. Let me just get that back set up for later. Oh, phooey. Come on, right there. There. All right. Froze. Let's get over to this image as well. All right. This is a pretty current one that happened not too long ago over Hampton Roads, Virginia. Just back it up and play this a little bit.
Some people might say this is pareidolia or something else, maybe weather manipulation. It's terrifying as all heck, right? Well, again, as else. Some people might say this is pareidolia or something else, maybe weather manipulation. It's terrifying.
Okay, terrifying for people who don't know what's going on. But for people here at this channel, we know what's going on. We know it's a real face. And we know whose it is, too. It's my face right there. Keeps showing up all over the place. And watching over you. Looking down. Protecting you. Watching over you. Much like this image right here. Okay? And then where's my other ones that I had set up? Oh, let's just do that one. Actually, no, let's save that. We'll turn this back down and get up another image real quick here. Double moon dog deer Auror'Ya. Okay, again. Oh, that's not my face. But that's kind of cartoonish type faces we are getting in the sky sometimes. Okay, now let's just back up to right about there. Okay, there it is. All right. 3 different images. Okay. That one happened on Easter. This one happened on Leap Day on February 29th. So that should scream volumes as well. Let me get a more bigger screen. No. There we go. All right, so these dates, these events that are happening on certain dates, it's not coincidence. As I found out, unfortunately, the hard way. Okay, so there's that again. And then what are we doing? We're going to do some more reading, I guess. So, let's read to this one real quick. I like this one. This is like our latest one. This is new. And this isn't in the clouds. It's out by the moon. I thought this was some milky clouds being lit up by the moon. Backlit by the moon or something like that, right? No. There's an object out by the moon, and this dude zooms in on this white object, and it turns out to be a giant face. My face, of all faces. Ugh. Imagine if that was happening to you. You'd probably lose your mind. Like, what's going on? And I'm not a big, ego guy. This is not all, I'm tripping, it's all about me or whatever. I'm a humble kind of guy. It's just, I never expected this stuff to happen to me. And when it did, it was just... All right, let's just get to reading. I can't talk too deeply about that part. All righty. Get some light over here on my face in the book. All right. Let's see here. I had some stuff. All right, yeah, here we go. All right, everybody first, before we do this, take a couple of nice long deep breaths. Let's do a little deep breath. And relax. Be in the moment, not thinking about anything except being here with me while we do this, okay? While you're looking at that, listen as I tell you that I am all around you, hovering over you, even as you seek my face. I am nearer than you dare believe, closer than the air you breathe. If my children could only recognize my presence, they would never feel lonely again. You hear me? If my children could only recognize my presence, they would never feel lonely again. I know every thought before you think it and every word before you speak it. My presence impinges on your innermost being. Can you see the absurdity of trying to hide anything from me? You can easily deceive other people, even yourself, but I read you like an open book, large print book. Deep within yourselves, most people have some awareness of my intimate presence. Many people run from me and vehemently deny my existence because my closeness terrifies them. But my own children have nothing to fear, for I have cleansed them by my blood and clothed them in my righteousness. So be blessed by my intimate nearness. Since I live in you, let me also live through you, shining my light into the darkness. I am the eternal I am. I always have been and I always will be. In my presence, you experience love and light, peace and joy. I am intimately involved in all of your moments, and I am training you to be aware of me at all times. Your assignment is to collaborate with me in this training process. I have taken up residence within you. I am central in your innermost being. Your mind goes off in tangents from its holy center time after time. Do not be alarmed by your inability to remain focused on me. Simply bring your thoughts gently back to me each time they wander. The quickest way to redirect your mind to me is to whisper my name. Trust me in the midst of a messy day. Your inner calm, your peace in my presence, need not be shaken by what is going on around you. Okay? So, like we did that exercise today, guys, some of you guys hung out through the whole thing, but your inner calm, your peace in my presence, need not be shaken by what is going on around you. Though you live in this temporal world, your innermost being is rooted and grounded in eternity. So when you start to feel stressed, detach yourself from the disturbances around you. Instead of desperately striving to maintain order and control in your world, relax and remember that circumstances cannot touch my peace. Come on, come on, image. All right. One more time here. Instead of desperately striving to maintain order and control in your world, in your life, relax and remember that circumstances cannot touch my peace. So seek my face, and I will share my mind with you, opening up your eyes to see things from my perspective. Don't let your heart be troubled, and do not be afraid. The peace I give you is sufficient for you. Okay, let's pop up another little picture here. Even that one, even though it kind of looks all demonic or whatever, it's not. It's the sunset. God uses colors and sunsets. He does a lot of these works in the clouds during sunset. So if you want to go see this stuff, sometimes sunset is where you capture some of the best captures because of the coloration. All right, and like that is not pareidolia. All right, that is far from pareidolia. If you had pareidolia, you would look at the patterns in the carpet and see faces in the carpet, right? You would see faces in the stucco on the wall. All right, you would see faces in random stuff like sand on the beach. This is not random. You are not experiencing pareidolia. You're experiencing what I have to go through. All right. Again, seek my face and I will share my mind with you, opening your eyes to see things from my perspective. Don't let your heart be troubled and do not be afraid. The peace I give you is sufficient for you. Spend time with me for the pure pleasure of being in my company. I can brighten up the dullest of gray days. I can add sparkle to the routines of daily life. You have to repeat so many tasks day after day that this monotony can dull your thinking until your mind slips into neutral. A mind that is unfocused is vulnerable to the world, the flesh, and the devil, all of which exert a downward pull on your thoughts. As your thinking processes deteriorate, you become increasingly confused and directionless. The best remedy is to refocus your mind and heart on me, your constant companion. Even the most confusing day opens up before you as you go step by step with me. My presence goes with you wherever you go, providing light for your path. Enough of that weird face right there. We expect you'll see more of this evidence showing up the closer and closer we get. All right, there's a good shot right there. Almost too big. It has to be back a dimension right there. All right. Grow strong in the light of my presence. As my face shines upon you, you receive nutrients that enhance your growth in grace. I designed you to commune with me face to face, and this interaction strengthens your soul. Such communion provides tiny glimpses of what awaits you in heaven, where all barriers between you and my glory will be removed. This meditative time with me blesses you doubly. You experience my presence here and now, and you are refreshed by the hope of heaven, where you will know me in ecstatic joy. All right, we got more. I am your joy. These 4 words can light up your life. Since I am always with you, the joy of my presence is continually accessible to you. You can open up to my presence through your trust in me, your love for me. Try saying, Jesus, you are my joy. My light will shine upon you and within you as you rejoice in me, your Savior. Ponder all that I have done for you and all that I am to you. This will lift you up above your circumstances. When you became my follower, I empowered you to rise above the conditions in your life. I filled you with my spirit, and this holy helper has limitless power. I promised that I will come back and take you to be with me in heaven, that you may be where I am forever. Whenever your world is looking dark, brighten your perspective by focusing on me. Relax in my presence and hear me. Hear me saying, Beloved, I am your joy. Be still and know that I am God. Most Christians are familiar with this command, but not so many take it seriously. Yet for those who do, like you guys, blessings flow like streams of living water, don't they? Ever since you guys came to this channel, hasn't that been coming true to you? Most Christians are familiar with this command. All right, yet for those who do, blessings flow like streams of living water. Christians are familiar with this command, but not so many take it seriously. For those who do, the blessings flow like streams of living water, don't they? As these believers sit in stillness, focusing on me and my word, their perception of me expands and their troubles shrink in importance, don't they? All your troubles just shrink in importance when you see what happened on Easter. Okay. One more time. As these believers, that you guys, as you sit in stillness, focusing on me and my word, your perception of me expands and your troubles shrink in importance. I want you to share in these blessings. So take time with me. While you rest in my presence, I untangle your thoughts and help you view things more biblically. Remember, my word is a lamp to guide your feet, and it's a light for your path. So, biblical thinking illuminates the path before you so you can find your way. Get it? Pretty simple stuff. Let me go over that one more time. Remember, my word is a lamp to guide your feet and a light for your path. So, biblical thinking illuminates the path before you so you can find your way. It's crucial to know not only that I am God, but that I made you, and you are mine. You are sheep of my pasture. Sheep have very limited understanding of what their shepherd is doing for them, but they follow him anyway. Similarly, as my sheep, your job is to trust me and follow wherever I lead. Find joy in me, for I am your strength. It's vital to keep your joy alive, especially when you're in the throes of adversity. Whenever you're struggling with difficulties, you need to guard your thoughts and spoken words carefully. Okay? Whenever you are struggling with difficulties, you need to guard your thoughts and spoken words carefully. I have a bad habit sometimes, and I got to constantly catch myself, and Jesus help me with that. Whenever you're struggling with difficulties, you need to guard your thoughts and spoken words carefully. If you focus too much on all the things that are wrong, you will become increasingly discouraged and your strength will be sapped. As soon as you realize what is happening, stop this hurtful process. When you realize that this discouraged thinking is happening, stop this hurtful process immediately. Turn to me, asking me to help you with your struggles. Right there. That's what I want to stop with right there. As soon as you realize what is happening, stop the hurtful process immediately. That line right there. If you got on a train going the wrong direction, it's best to get off at the first stop, right? Because you're not as far away from your destination. You're going in the opposite direction. So when you're going in the opposite direction, it's best to stop and get off the train at the first stop and turn around. It's much easier to recover than being another country away. You know, it would cost less to get back to where you're going. Let's put it that way. Go too far down the wrong direction, it costs more to get back to the right place. All right. So, as soon as you realize that you're having this discouraged thinking, as soon as you realize what's happening, stop the hurtful process immediately. Jump off the train if you have to. It's a less distance you have to go back. Turn to me, asking me to help you with all your struggles. Take time to praise me, speak or sing words of worship, read scripture that helps you rejoice in me. Remember that your problems are temporary, but I am eternal, and so is your relationship with me. So find joy in me, delighting in my unfailing love for you. Your strength will increase. As you find joy in me, delighting in my unfailing love for you, your strength will increase. This is the joy of the Lord, which is yours for all time and throughout eternity. Get ready, you guys. This is yours for all time throughout eternity. This joy of the Lord, which just described, is yours for all time and throughout eternity. This is all about to be yours, you guys. Rejoice. Find joy in me. Let my consolation, my comfort, bring joy to your soul. Again, let my consolation, my comfort, bring joy to your soul. When anxiety is welling up within you, come to me and pour out your heart. Then sit quietly in my presence while I comfort you, helping you see things from my perspective. I remind you of your heavenly destination, and you are indeed on your way to glory. So I infuse my joy and my peace into your heart, mind, and soul. That's one of my favorite right there. I'm gonna have to read that again. We're closing with this one again. All right, get back to this image, please, Lord. I'm not playing games here. All right. So let me just repeat that one because it's just so important. That's why you guys are here. To let my consolation, my comfort bring joy to your soul. When your anxiety is welling up within you, come to me and pour out your heart. Then sit quietly in my presence while I comfort you, helping you see things from my perspective. I remind you of your heavenly destination, doesn't it? For you are indeed on your way to glory. The joy I get by showing you guys this, I infuse my joy and peace into your heart, mind, and soul. So feel it. The more you trust me, the more you will feel it. You will feel the infusion of my joy and peace into your heart, mind, and soul. Hopefully, you experienced some of that earlier today when we did our little exercise. Okay? Because this is another important factor. Because when you are joyful, this changes the way you view the world around you. Even though you see much darkness, you can also see the light of my presence continuing to shine. Moreover, the joy in your soul gives you buoyancy, enabling you to rise above the countless problems in your life. And I'm talking countless problems. This gives you buoyancy, enabling you to rise above the countless problems in your life. Once you have gained this perspective, you will discover that you can comfort others in the midst of their troubles. They will find in you the consolation that you have found in me. Thus, your joy becomes contagious, infecting those around you with joy in their souls. Wow. Pretty simple stuff, pretty complex, but very important. It's important that you let my consolation, my comfort bring joy to your soul. When you're sitting quietly in my presence, I comfort you, helping you see things from my perspective. This joy gives your soul buoyancy, enabling you to rise above countless problems. Your joy becomes contagious, infecting those around you with joy in their souls. And then imagine that they go around infecting more. And it just becomes this. We have an outbreak of joy. Call the CDC. We have an outbreak of joy. It's unstoppable. All these people keep celebrating, and then they make others celebrate, and we don't know why, but we're starting to celebrate too. Everybody start in celebration, joy, because it becomes contagious. It literally infects those around you in their souls. When anxiety was great within me, your consolation brought joy to my soul. Psalm 94:19. I think that might be it for tonight. We got any more, Lord? You guys still got some patience there? Um, oh man, I got so much here. No, this one right here. Definitely this one right here. All right, here we go. Hold on tight for one more, one of many more closers, I guess. The more often you turn your thoughts to me, the more you will enjoy my perfect peace. This is a challenging goal, but it is also a glorious gift. I am the shepherd of your soul, am always accessible to you too. So, this challenging goal, but it is also a glorious gift. I, the shepherd of your soul, am always accessible to you. You can train your mind to turn from other things and focus on me. When you're experiencing something beautiful, thank me for it. When a loved one brings you joy, remember that I am the source of this pleasure. Post reminders of my presence in your home or car or office. It is also wise to memorize scriptures since it is ultimately describes me. Turning your thoughts to me demonstrates your trust in me. Even undesired things such as pain and problems can be reminders to communicate with me. Focusing on my presence protects you from getting stuck on problems, going over and over and over them in your mind without making any progress. Again, focusing on my presence protects you from getting stuck on problems without making any progress. Be creative in finding new ways to turn your thoughts towards me. Thus, you can enjoy the wondrous gift of my peace. In me, you can discover joy, inaccessible and full of glory. You will not find this kind of pleasure anywhere else. It is available only in your relationship with me. So trust me and walk confidently along your life path. As we journey together, you will encounter many obstacles, some of which are quite painful. But expect these difficulties each day and don't let them throw you off course. Refuse to let adversity keep you from enjoying me. In my presence, deep sorrow can coexist with even deeper joy. Sounds impossible, but in my presence, deep sorrow can coexist with even deeper joy. Your life with me is an adventure, and there's always some dangers involved in adventurous journeys. So ask me to give you courage so you can face your troubles boldly. Keep your hope fully fastened on me and on the heavenly reward that awaits you. Your joy will expand astronomically beyond anything you could possibly imagine when you reach your eternal home. When you see me face to face, and your joy will know no bounds. Imagine that joy with no bounds. Your life with me is an adventure, and there's always some dangers involved in adventurous journeys. Ask me to give you courage so that you can face your troubles boldly, not face them timidly, not run away from them. Face them boldly. Ask me to give you the courage to face your troubles boldly. Then keep your hope fully fastened on me. And I will deliver. I always deliver, don't I? There, all right. Your joy will expand astronomically beyond anything you could possibly imagine when you reach your eternal home. Okay? Finish line. The finish line to the race is like right there, all right? So don't give up. we're running a marathon here, all right? You've put in so much work to get this far. You've learned so many life lessons along life's path, and it's gotten you here. Don't give up the race right now. Not when you can see the finish line and see the coach cheering you on, going, "You can do it. You can do it, dude." Hopefully, you saved a little bit of energy for that last 100 yards, and you can give it some kick, and everybody will see your victory. Think of your eternity, how your life is going to be a testament of a race that you actually won, and all your loved ones are going to be so happy for you and proud and thankful that you stuck it out. They're all around you cheering you on. If you could only see and hear them like I do, you would just be like, "Oh my goodness, I have a whole stadium full of people that are cheering my name." Not a football team, not a sports team, not some superstar athlete. It's a whole stadium, many stadiums of people cheering you on. Okay? And now you got reason to give us some kick at the end, all right? And that means by being joyful, letting it become infectious, infecting other people with joy. Sir, we have a big breakout of joy. Yeah, we have a pandemic of joy. What would that happen? I mean, you lock down everybody because they're so joyful. You can't. You can't do it. There's just, it's unstoppable if you do it right. Okay. Don't let them steal your joy. That's your strength. Don't give in to fear. That's false evidence appearing real. This is real evidence appearing false, apparently, to the world, but it's real evidence. More than just clouds in the sky. Said you'll meet me in the clouds. Well, you're meeting me in the clouds, aren't you? It's a different perspective than what everybody interpreted. They thought they were going to go rapture up into the clouds and stuff. Well, you're meeting me in the clouds still, technically, aren't you? Different ways, different perspectives. You need to be open-minded, open-hearted, and forgiving and loving. You guys are doing awesome. I am so proud of this audience, you guys. And it's not a pride thing. It's more honorable. That kind of proud. You've done an honorable deed. That's something to more of a self-esteem type proud than pride itself. It's a big difference, okay? And I want you guys to understand that difference too. All right, and that way you can breathe at ease, have joy in your life, try to spread this, help others. You guys are so wise now. Through what I've shown you here at this channel, it's like $1 million education that people would die for, and you guys get it for free, so you can spread it for free, so you can spread that joy. Okay, you're learning techniques that you can pass on to others. You don't need to tell them where you learned it from or how you did it or whatever, but just keep practicing it and set the example. It's hard to tell people how to do something. You have to show them by example. So lead by example. Show your joy, your compassion, your forgiveness for others. Be that light. Be me. Be my light out in the world and shine your light into others, illuminating their path as well. Because you're leading them to joy. It's not like you're leading them to the pit of hell. All right? You're leading them to security, peace of mind, joy, understanding. So when you look at headlines, it doesn't rattle you. You can go, yep, that's biblically true. It's the Bible coming true in real time, in real life. And when you can see through everything, you feel much more confident about where you stand. Don't you? You feel more confident about where you stand now because you can see through the deception. You have eyes to see. I bet you have ears to hear. You're probably hearing some amazing things coming out of your loved ones' mouths right around now. And you're like, what? That was out of character. Where'd that come from? All kinds of things are changing. The spiritual realm controls people and it changes. And it changes people. So it's kind of a test on you as a Christian as well. How well are you going to react? Um, I have anger issues. I lose my temper. I shouldn't be losing my temper. I have this peace that transcends all, yet I still lose my temper and words will come flying out of my mouth, and I have to stop myself before the train gets too far away from the station, turn around and go, Jesus, I was doing it again. Help me. Help me be peaceful. Help me stop flying off the handle and being angry. Help me with my reactions to my loved ones so I don't take anger out on them. They see joy. They reflect that joy back to you, and all of a sudden it's infectious, all right? And that's what we're trying to do here is we're starting an outbreak of love and joy and forgiveness. All right, so everybody on lockdown, we've got love, joy, and forgiveness running loose across the country. What are we gonna do? Maybe we'll learn to love each other and enjoy each other and forgive each other. That's the only way we're gonna have unity in this country. And I pledge allegiance to the God who rescues the United States of America. And in order for this republic to stand as one nation under God, we need to be indivisible if we want liberty and justice for all. This is how you do it. You want to be indivisible, you want liberty and justice for all. Think about that for a while, too. I love you all. I miss you all. God bless you all. And until my next show, I will be back. I am already back. And you guys can tell. I love you so much. You are precious to me. The same way I am to you, you are to me. I love you. I miss you. I care for you guys, and I want you to have peace, strength, courage, love, harmony, everything. I want you to be able to see this world through divine eyes, with a perspective towards a finish line, with a real goal. Are you going to finish strong? Okay. And then help others finish strong too. If you still got enough kick left in your game and you see somebody that's straggling and struggling in their race, go back there and give them a little inspiration. You don't have to lift and carry them across the finish line, but you give them the inspiration. You give them motivation. You give them something, share this with them, whatever it takes, okay? Because it's important. You see what this race is all about. It's not about who wins, who dies with the most toy wins. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's a spiritual achievement race. How many spiritual achievements are you going to learn? Are you going to take that knowledge and then apply it and have wisdom? Okay, so here we're ranting along, but I think that might be it for tonight. I sure love you guys. I miss you guys. And until my next show, I will be back. I am already back, and you guys can feel the love. Bye.